You know, I realize something, that the presence of the Lord is spread through words, that the presence of the Lord is here now. But there is something I can start to say now, that you will now start to feel the presence. So, is it that the presence was never here? The presence is spread through words. It is the bride and the groom that says come. There is a dimension of his presence called presence. That one is everywhere. There is a dimension of his presence called Shekinah presence. One is the height of his glory. But there is the dimension of his presence called manifest presence. Manifest presence of him needs the participation of the spoken words of men for his amplification. So the presence of the Lord in his manifestedness can be around, but is waiting for you to project him, because it wants to be spoken of. We need to train ourselves to the point where we know what to say, what to do, that will bring back his presence, that will bring out his presence. Train ourselves in purity, train ourselves in prayer, train ourselves in the word of God. Because without purity, prayer, and the word, we will never, ever be able to reveal his presence. We can talk about him, think about him, we can advise people about him. With purity, without prayer and the word, we will never, ever enjoy the Shekinah and his manifest presence. You can, for all your life, you can only capture the revelation of his omnipresence. There is a plane from whence that dimension is going to benefit you. The plane of his omnipresence, the reality of him everywhere, always available on ground wherever you go. If you travel abroad, is there. If you're in Nigeria, is there. If you go to the UK, is there. If you come back to Africa, but there is a dimension of his presence that this one is not just the reality of God that is everywhere. The reality of his manifest presence. Omnipresence can be everywhere, but darkness is still everywhere. Omnipresence can be everywhere, but sickness is still everywhere. Omnipresence can be everywhere, but somebody is still not saved. What makes an unbeliever saved was not just omnipresence. What makes an unbeliever saved was manifest presence. Because a man who carried God waits there, folk to the heart of an unbeliever, and that person who is unsaved received a presence. And that's why when an unbeliever gives his life to Christ, as small as it sounds, confessing with his mouth and believing with his heart, he receives Christ, because what was provoked into him is called the manifest presence. The manifestation of the personality he has confessed receives him because he's been provoked to walk. So you can actually, and that's the mystery of an altar, that's the mystery of a shrine, that's the mystery of secret places. You can get to a shrine and you don't know something is happening until the man who carries the oracle of that presence comes there. Then he starts to say some things. He starts to say some things, and that presence begins to implicate you. For example, somebody wants to become rich. If you get to that